Hey everyone, so this is Edmund here, and without going further, let me briefly introduce myself. Right, currently I'm a data scientist at Micron, working as a data scientist for the manufacturing and business activities to improve the manufacturing ROI, etc. So I've been working, for almost 2 years right now. But before that, I was actually a physics student. Okay, I came from a very academic background, so somehow I managed to transition from academic all the way to data science. It's a very huge jump to me, and I'm going to tell you how exactly that I transitioned from an academic background or any background that you are now to data science if you hope to get into this field or any other fields through personal branding, right? So if you're interested, you can also visit my website here to understand more about my stories and also some of the things that I've been doing, like what Ruben mentioned, articles, speaking, etc. Right? So all my stories in there is for you to view and enjoy. So who am I? As Ruben mentioned, I am a data science writer. Nowadays, I write articles on various platforms like Medium, in Asia, KD Nuggets, Airtime Journal. All this is the main aim is to inspire, to share my knowledge in data science with other people, to hopefully inspire them as well on how to get into this field and to share more knowledge and their experience with others. So this is the main reason why I'm doing this. And also I hope to document my journey and share my experience as well as learn from others. But little did I know that throughout this whole data science writing journey, I am in fact building my own personal brand without me knowing it after some time, right? So this is how I'm going to talk about how you can leverage some platforms, like for example, LinkedIn or Medium, to really build your brand as a data scientist, but not just data scientist. The things that I'm going to share with you today in this 1 or 2 hours is applicable basically to any industry. Even though if you're not looking into data science field, you are the feel lucky one to be here today, because the things that I'm going to share with you, you can implement straight after this webinar today to get your career to the next level, to get the job opportunities that you have always wanted. Also, I do some data science consulting, and I help companies and marketing agencies with my data science services, etc., to help them boost their ROI. So these are some of the things that I've been doing to help my clients and other companies in consulting. Well, if sharing is the best way to learn and inspire others, then speaking, I believe, is the best way to share. So this is why I want to become a data science communicator. This is how I end up becoming a speaker, to hope to share my knowledge, share my experience and lessons learned along the way to hopefully inspire more people to go to this field. And also I've spoken in different workshops, meetups, also some seminar discussions on various topics. So most of it is to help people get into this field through personal brand. And these are some of the things, some of the pictures taken from some of the meetups. Well, by this point of time, you may be asking, why do I show all this to you? Why do I share my experience with all of you guys? Why do I share some of the achievement with all of you guys here today? The only thing that I want to show you is it is absolutely possible to go into data science even without any computer science background. Okay? This is something that I want to show you. Remember to say that I came from a very academic background. I'm from physics background, but somehow I managed to transition all the way from academic to data science. And in fact, building my personal brand as a data scientist has boosted my career tremendously, that I never look back ever since. Even before that, I applied, I'm just like a lot of you guys out there, apply for hundreds of jobs or internships, submit my resume through online job portals, job streets, all this. But I think 99% of it, I just got no reply from all these employers, from all these so-called HR or recruiters. And I just thought of it, there should be a better way to reach out all these employers or people for career opportunities. And this is how I chanced upon this thing called personal brand. And this made me realize the importance of building a strong personal brand, not just to get your career to the next level, but also to really get more opportunities in your career or in your life. So today, if you are a student or fresh grad wondering how to go into this field, data science, in this competitive landscape, or if you're just a normal, working professional, can be any industry, but you are thinking of how to switch to data science, and you are stuck because you are just not knowing how you can land a job in this competitive world called data science. Or maybe you are someone who want to leverage social media to build your personal brand that can take your career to the next level. Then the webinar today is exactly what is meant for you. It doesn't matter whatever background that you are in. Maybe you are from a very academic background, research background. Maybe you are now working as a marketing executive. Maybe you are, just now I saw someone say that they're still studying, they're marketing executive. Doesn't matter. The things that I'm going to show you today is exactly the steps that I used throughout these few years to build my brand and to land my job as a data scientist without any hassle. Okay, this is gonna get you higher, especially during this COVID-19 period. And this is the best period to start building your brand, to start gaining traction on your social media profile. And I want to help you to get there. So at the end of this live webinar, what are you gonna learn? You're gonna learn how to build and optimize your LinkedIn profile. I'm gonna show you later on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile from scratch, and how to brand yourself as a high in demand data scientist, to leverage social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever things, to land a data scientist job faster than anyone, or maybe other jobs, right? And also I'm gonna help you to position yourself as a thought leader in this space. And finally, once you implement this, whatever things that I told you, you'll be able to take your career to the next level through your unique personal brand. All right, so let's get started. Before moving forward, I want you to understand what exactly is personal branding and why is that so important throughout your career. A lot of people that have come through, they're not aware of this thing called personal branding, or they're not so sure how to build their personal brand, or maybe a lot of them, they just don't see the importance of building a personal brand here. So here I want to raise your awareness, or to set your mindset right as to why building personal brand is important as a data scientist or any other career. Okay, so before even talking about how to use this personal brand to land a job as a data scientist, maybe let's talk about the common problems, right? Most aspiring data scientists are facing. So especially when you just came into this space called data science, or you are just a beginner in data science space, there are some of the things, right, that you will chance upon sometime later on. You might be overwhelmed in this sea of information and resources. Just Google how to learn data science, and you see tons of information out there to tell you what to do. And it's very confusing, at least to me. And maybe you are just, you keep doing online courses, taking courses from Udemy, from Coursera, watching some YouTube videos, but without really a practical experience, especially for beginners. Also, you understanding how to use machine learning models, but maybe you are not so sure about the technical concept, the math behind. Maybe you're just too ambitious to learn all these things at once because, you are a beginner in this field, you want to absorb as much as possible. And this is where you get confused. Why? Because you focus too much on technical skills without really improving your soft skills. And by soft skills, I mean the way of how to build your personal brand here. And even when you talk about, landing a job in data science, after you have learned so much things, you have taken so much courses out there, now you are thinking that, whoa, I'm ready for a job, right? So now you start submitting your resume to different job portals, and after so much time and effort put in, you manage to learn all these technical skills. But somehow, after you submitted these resumes to so-called job portals, you're not even getting reply. And this is exactly how I encountered, how I submitted my resume without getting any reply. Even some people who reply me, they may say, thanks for the interest, but unfortunately, we can't proceed to the next stage, etc., etc. So you guys are frustrated or intimidated by this insane or unrealistic, expectation, or sometimes even data science job description So you just go to a job portal, submit your resume, and you hope for the best. And to me, hope is not a strategy. And today, I'm going to share the strategy with you on how to get people to come to you, to get employers to come to you, to get HR to come to you, to get recruiters, headhunters to come to you without you reaching to them. And this is the power of personal brand. You don't need to submit any resume to job portals anymore once you have a strong and unique personal brand that people know you, that people trust you, that you have established your credibility as a data scientist. So now you no longer struggle to get interviews because now you have already a strong personal brand. So at the end of the day, landing a job in data science is all that matters when it comes to finding a job in data science. And this is exactly what I will talk about. And all the strategy that I'm going to share today, again, I repeated quite a lot of times, I guess, is applicable to every one of you, regardless whatever field they want to go in. It could be data science field, it could be digital marketing, it could be banking, it could be investment, whatever things. You need to have a unique personal brand to differentiate yourself. Otherwise, why are you so special compared to others? And this is the first question employers will ask you. Why are you so special? Why couldn't I just hire someone else instead of you? And you have to justify yourself, right? You see, you can be one of the greatest data scientists in the world. You can be the greatest of the greatest. But if nobody knows about you, that's it. At the end of the day, it's not about who you know, but rather who knows about you. This is why the personal brand is very important to your career. So now here comes the very favorite slide that I hope to share. You see, this is the belief versus reality that we are facing, and sometimes we are not even aware of this. The common belief tells us that resume is enough. You submit your resume, the people, your teachers, even your professor, maybe in your university, tell you that, you got to work hard, you got to go to internship, great internship job, great internship companies to build your resume, and then you'll get a job. But in reality, not this case. Maybe people tell you that, take more online courses, take more, some electives, take more courses that are relevant to you, and you'll get a job. To me, this is a lie, a total lie. Maybe some people tell you that school projects are enough. You may have your own final year project, you may have your own personal projects, but this is not enough. The reality shows us that resume alone is not enough. Online courses are not enough. School projects are not enough. Maybe you submit a lot of resume, maybe you have attended tens or hundreds of online courses out there through Udemy. Maybe you have done your school projects well, you have got an A+, good. But once you step out in the real world, you try to submit your resume to get an interview or even job. Somehow you just can't get replies, not even a job. So what exactly wrong is here? You have to stand out. If there's one key takeaway here today for this webinar, it's this: you have to stand out. I can't stress enough the importance that you have to differentiate yourself compared to others. Every one of us is unique, and that depends on how we establish ourselves as a data scientist. And it could be any other industry out there. You just need to share your voice out there, build your personal brand, be real, be yourself, so that people start noticing you. Now, maybe you're asking, why do I need to stand out? Why? Why is this so important to stand out? You see, these are all the resumes out there. Imagine now you want to apply for a data scientist job. So now you submit a resume. Good. But again, your resume is just part of a pile of resumes out there. And again, the same question that I'm going to ask you: how are you different compared to others? Why are you so special? To me, you are just a piece of resume. Why do I need to pick you up for an interview before I even give you a job, right? You have to be different. You can't just rely solely on resume alone. There should be something within you. There should be something that people can see within you that make you special. You see, insanity is about doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. And these are most candidates out there, most job search candidates out there, most fresh grads, or even some working professionals out there. They're doing the same thing. They build their portfolio, they build their resume, they work hard for life, build their resume hopefully to get to the next stage of their life, hopefully to get their career to the next level. But somehow they are not managed to do so. Because they just keep repeating the same thing and again, building their resume, 1 or 2 pages resume to hopefully get people to see them. This is not how the world works. And in fact, your resume is one of the ways to get the first entrance ticket to your next stage of application interview. And to pass this resume test, your resume on average has 6 seconds to make the right impression with the prospective employer. Imagine now you have been building your personal brand on social media and people have been noticing you. The impression that you are making are way more stronger or heavier compared to other candidates. Even before they accept your resume, they already know who you are. They already know why you are so special. They already know your skills. They already know your network, why you are so special compared to others. The right impression, the first impression, you are already few steps ahead compared to many other people out there. And it's very important. This is how you get the interview. This is how you get the first entrance ticket, right? So again, if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you are just going to get what everyone else is getting. That's why you have to stand out. And here comes the importance of personal branding, right? This is what we have been talking about here. So what is personal branding? If you ask me, I would say personal branding is not about faking your own brand, an experience just to impress, your hiring managers or employers. This is not personal branding is about. It's about something more beyond that, right? Personal branding is something like being you. It's being this authentic self with your own self-belief, with your own story. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's story is unique, with your own experience that demonstrate the expertise, the authority in your niche, data science in this case. So you have to know what exactly that you stand for. You could be, you believe that sharing is important. That's why you keep sharing your right articles. And this is you. This is what you believe in. This is what you stand for. And this is what is meant to be you. People learn about your stories, your experience, and people know more about your personal story. And this is what makes you special compared to all those other anonymous candidates out there who don't show themselves on social media platform and just one day they submit their resume, boom, that's it. They don't get any replies. But you, if you build your personal brand in the right way, at the right time, consistently, this will become you. You will build your own personal brand even without you knowing it. And this is who we are, right? Every one of us is different. Your personal brand is not the same compared to others. So you don't need to, copy others' personal branding. Everyone is unique. I believe that everyone has their own perspective, own mindset, own belief, and you have to discover yourself. You have to undergo a very rigorous, self-analysis to really understand who you are, what you stand for, and what you are good at, right? What you are good at, what you are bad at, and this is about how you are, who you are, and how people perceive you, even if you are not here. All right. The very good scenario that I can think of is a good personal brand is about what people talk about you, even when you are not in the same room with them. And that is the power of personal brand. If you build your personal brand right, if you set up, let's say you build your personal brand as a consistent, persevere person, even if you are not in the same room, people will just think of you, wow, this guy is a very consistent guy, he's a very persevere guy, he just, makes everything work. And this is your personal brand, right? You don't just talk about your personal brand, but you have to show the quality of your personal brand so that people perceive it as how you want to show it. And the best way to build a personal brand is to be you. You don't need to fake yourself or so-called, what do you say, that fake it till you make it, right? No, you don't need to fake it. Just be yourself. Be you. Be real. People like authentic people. And once you be real, you get more people approaching you because you are authentic. You are sincere. You are authentic, you are sincere, you have your own personal brand that attracts people, right? And this is something very profound here. You see, imagine this is your resume. Now you submit to an online job portals. Let's say JobStreet, let's say your school online job portals, let's say LinkedIn, all these different job portals, different employers. And this is the common way of finding a job, landing a job opportunities. In this way, this is how I see it. I think the common way that we're using here is one-to-many approach. But what if you build a very strong personal brand? What will happen? Now, many people will start approaching you because you are known, loved, and respected for being who you are. Now, you see, with a strong personal brand, you will start earning trust from all these prospective employers, from all these HRs, hiring managers, recruiters, headhunters, and they will start approaching you for any job opportunities because you will be the one that pop on their mind when they want to hire someone to fill a vacancy. Just look around you. In this COVID-19 period, I understand that unfortunately a lot of people lost their jobs, right? Just imagine now you've lost your job. So what happened next? The common way of doing the next step is to submit resume to various job portals, hoping for the best. And again, hope is not a strategy here. And I think the period right now that we are here now, this COVID-19 period, this virus outbreak period, is the single best time for us to build our personal brand. Just think of it for a moment. A lot of people right now, they are bored, they are sitting at home, nothing to do. And guess what they are looking at? Their mobile phones, their laptop, their desktop. And you can start creating content out there, sharing your experience, writing articles to share online. And this is how people can start consuming your content. And this is how people can start knowing you. And all these people could be who? Could be your employers, your prospective employers, could be HRs, could be headhunters. And now they see you, they start knowing you, they start noticing you. And when they have job opportunities in future, they'll start pushing you without even you submitting your resume out there. And this is how you get the first entrance ticket, which I strongly believe the importance of personal brand in this way. But it's hard, right? It's hard to find your own personal brand. So first of all, how to find your own personal brand? You need to ask yourself a very candid question, right? You need to face yourself very real. You need to know what you love and find your niche. And the niche that we are talking about here could be data science, could be banking, could be law, could be F&B, could be whatever industry that you are in. You just need to know what are you passionate about, right? You need to know your niche. And to start building your personal brand, you need to provide values to others, while at the same time, you need to start creating and sharing what it is that you love. But to me, because I'm very passionate about data science, so a lot of time you might see me, sharing different content out there. Could be sharing my experience in data science, something that I learned. Could be sharing some of the technical data science techniques out there on social media platforms, on Medium, through some speaking sessions. And this is how I start providing values, and this is how people start, noticing me, and this is how you start getting traction. And by doing this, you'll be able to position yourself and market your personal brand by leveraging all these social media channels to let it speak for you. So here comes an important point. There are some questions that I want to ask yourself after the webinar today, and I want you to jot it down right now. The first question is, what are you passionate about? Second question, what do you believe in? What do you stand for? Third question would be, what is your story? What exactly that leads you to where you are today? Maybe you are an aspiring data scientist, you want to go into this field. So now the next question is, why? Why do you need to go into this field? What makes you interested in this field? What's so special about you? And this is your story, and it's unique. And why do you want to be in data science? The why part is very important here. What motivates you to be in data science? If you're looking to get a job in banking, the first question is to ask why. Why are you doing what you are doing today? And this is a question that a lot of people, they just don't ask themselves. They just don't do this kind of self-analysis because they don't think it is important. And to me, understanding the why, understanding the motivation behind everything that you do is substantially important to really motivate you, to really get you started, to really help you to gain traction in this field and start building your personal brand. So these are some questions that you can ask and to start getting noticed by recruiters and prospective employers right out there. Well, there's a lot of different social media platforms out there to build your personal brand. So now I'm solely focusing on data science, but of course you can use some of this for your own industry. For data science industry, there are some of the common social media platforms that you can leverage right now. It could be Kaggle. Maybe you're already familiar with this. Kaggle is a platform, for you to tackle some of the toughest data science problems, to get your hands dirty with some open data set out there, to test out your skills and to share your portfolio with others. Maybe Stack Overflow, you can share your answers to some of the questions out there on Stack Overflow, and this is how people start noticing you, and this is how you establish your authority out there, right? Reddit is a very common Q&A Q&A platform for you to start getting noticed by people out there. And GitHub, if you have done some of the school projects or whatever things, you can share these, on GitHub as well. So I saw someone raise hand. Do you have any questions so far? Let me see. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Ask in the Zoom chat and I can reply it accordingly, or you can unmute yourself, I think.
This is a webinar, so they can't actually unmute themselves.
Okay.
But they can ask questions through the Q&A. Now, feel free to ask questions through the Q&A or just chat in the chat section. And I'm here to actually make sure and jot down everything. Anyway, back to you, Edmund.
All right, great. So whatever questions that you have, feel free. Feel free to leave it in the Zoom chat and I'll get back all of them. I'll make sure I have time for this to answer all of your questions after this, right? So make sure you jot down your questions and ask in the Zoom chat and we'll get to that. Okay, so back to this. There are two favorite social media platforms that I use significantly to build my personal brand. First, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the first social media platform where I spend so much of my time to start building my personal brand, to start establishing my authority here as a data scientist. And I highly recommend you to start using this space, especially if you want to go into this space in data science. The second is Medium, because I like writing. I like sharing my articles, my insights through words. So this is how I start writing articles and submit to, towards data science or some of the publications out there to gain traction and to help others in data science. So there are so many social media platforms out there. There are more than that beyond this. So it's up to you on what you want to use. But today I'm going to focus more on the LinkedIn part, because I think LinkedIn currently is becoming more and more organic platform similar to Facebook, and it's getting more and more traction. So I think it's the best time for you to jump into this social media platform and start building your personal brand. And most importantly, LinkedIn is a job search platform, essentially, right? So if you start building your personal brand here, what could go wrong, right? Well, there are different ways to build your personal brand. And this is where you need to start jotting down your notes, because I'm going to share tons of tips here on how to build your personal brand. First thing first, blogging. So this is my first blogging platform that I use, Medium, where I started sharing my articles, I think 1 or 2 years back. And so far, I have gained tremendous traction. I'm very fortunate about it. I'm very grateful for all the support by my readers. And this is how I started building my personal brand back then. Also, as mentioned, you can add values to data science community, if you want to get a job, or when you want to build a personal brand on this field, you have to start adding values. But building personal brand is about adding values, to help others. It's not about getting the attention, asking people to give you something. No, you have to add values first. And there's so many channels out there to, get you add values. Could be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Those are the good platforms to get started, right? And you also can work on some interesting side project, right? You can also get some data set on GitHub just to tackle some of the challenges, tackle some of the competitions out there, and write a blog about it. You can write about the approach that you use. You can share about the insights that you have based on the analytics, the machine learning models that you have trained. So this is way beyond just sharing your certificates on social media. You can go to a Udemy, take an online course, get a certificate, and share it on social media, and that's it. You are sharing your accomplishment. And admit it or not, nobody gives a shit about your certificate, to be honest. I know this is very brutal, but it's real. That's why learning from Udemy, this kind of online courses platform, is for you to get started. Ultimately, you want to write something about it, what you have learned, and how you can help others with the knowledge or technical experience that you have learned. And this is how people will benefit from it. It's not just by sharing your certificates. And sharing is always the best way to learn. Also, you can join some Kaggle competitions to showcase your results, your rankings, so that your prospective employers may see it. Again, you can also try to speak at meetups and conferences and share your knowledge with the community. And this is another path that I pursue. I am very active, searching opportunities to speak at various meetups or online seminars, to share knowledge with the community, to share my thought leadership in this space, to hopefully help more people and get more people excited about this space and how they can get into this space at the shortest amount of time through personal brand. So all these are the different ways for you to build a personal brand. But before that, there are no right or wrong ways to take. You can have your own ways, you can use other ways. All these depend on your style, what you prefer more. Maybe you are more comfortable in speaking. Maybe you just don't like to write, and that's perfectly fine. You can start, conducting Zoom webinar like today's. You can start sharing your knowledge with others by inviting your friends, your networks on LinkedIn, for example. Start sharing. You just have to get started, right? That's all for this. I hope you understand the importance of personal brand and the different ways to build your personal brand. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is significant. So I believe most of you have already set up your LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is tremendously popular nowadays. And from now onwards, I'm going to give you an overview of what LinkedIn is and how you can leverage this platform to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. And I'm not going to just show you the slide. I think this is quite boring. I'll just show you some of the information that's important. I'm going to walk you through on how you can build your profile step by step, okay? So before that, there are some of the common myths of LinkedIn, which I believe you have already heard a few times, either from your friends or from your other, some of the colleagues as well. People may say LinkedIn is just a place to find jobs. Well, it is, but it's way beyond a place to find jobs. It's much more than that. LinkedIn is just another form of resume. And I don't really agree with this. LinkedIn is much more than putting your offline resume online. It's much more than this. I'll share more with you why it is so. Maybe before even you start stepping on LinkedIn to build your personal brand, the first thing that pops into our mind, nobody will consume my content on LinkedIn. Why would I share it, right? And this is one of the biggest fear when it comes to building your personal brand on LinkedIn. And I want to help you handle this fear to get started and start building your personal brand. And some people even say LinkedIn is dead. No people use LinkedIn anymore, which is not true. More and more people, employers, job candidates, especially now, start using LinkedIn as a job search platform. And some people may even think that if maybe if you're already working at your own current company now, you may already be thinking that, oh shit, my boss will start thinking that I'm being disloyal to be on LinkedIn, right? Have you ever thought so? I mean, to me, this came to my mind last time, but this is so not true. Yes, you are right. You are on LinkedIn, you are very active, you keep sharing your stuff on LinkedIn to help more people. And it's perfectly fine that your boss will think that you are being disloyal, but this is not the true intention of being on LinkedIn. Being on LinkedIn is much more than searching for jobs. It's to help more people, add values, build your network to hopefully get more opportunities in future. Not just to get jobs. Getting jobs is just part of the equation, but it's just not this. So I want to debunk all of this myth on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform to network with all professionals around your space and build your brand. So again, it's not just about data science, right? It could be in law industry, in banking, in insurance industry, whatever industry that you are in is a platform to network with all your like-minded people who are in your professional and start building your brand by establishing your authority. Okay. Also, it's a learning resource to learn from others. Now, guess what? When I first started a few years back, one of the single most important platforms for me to learn about data science is to learn from other data scientists on LinkedIn. And data science community on LinkedIn is just so active. It's so big. Can't imagine this. Once you are in there, you start being active on LinkedIn and start absorbing whatever people have to say and start sharing as well. And I think it's a very powerful learning resource. And also at the same time, of course, you may have your own knowledge to share with the community. And this is how you give the values back, to give back to the community itself. LinkedIn is also a very huge content platform. Of course, in a very professional context, not just like Facebook, Instagram, but it's a very good organic content platform for you to advance your career. Now, guess what? LinkedIn is now the world's largest professional network with over 700 million members. Even though it's not as huge as Facebook, but the number here is sufficient enough to build a strong personal brand around your profession. And it's much more than just a place to find jobs, right? In fact, LinkedIn is slowly evolving to become a very organic content platform to build your personal brand like Facebook and Twitter, just that it is in a professional context, okay? And also, it's a way for you to promote your company's culture. Maybe you are right now working in an existing company. It's a very good opportunity for you to promote your own company's culture to attract more talents to come to join your team, right? It's part of the things that you can do while you are being active, adding values on LinkedIn and start building your personal brand. And this is what LinkedIn is all about, right? And this is the importance of building your personal brand on LinkedIn, which I strongly believe in, that you have to be active on it in whatever space that you are in. But now, after understanding the importance of what LinkedIn means to us, we need to start building it, right? You need to start polishing your profile on LinkedIn. And this is how I'm going to show you how to build and optimize your LinkedIn profile from scratch. Now you see, it's not enough to build a LinkedIn profile and that's it. But guess what? When I first started out, when I was still in university days, I attended quite a few workshops on LinkedIn, on some courses on LinkedIn on how to build my personal brand. And it's kind of like a personal brand 101 on LinkedIn. And they just show a very rudimentary steps to create your LinkedIn profile, write some stuff about you, and that's it. And that's how I got started to learn more about LinkedIn. And originally, when I first started, I thought LinkedIn was very boring to me because it's no use to me. I just don't get what LinkedIn is. But slowly, I start getting the importance, the effects, or the significance of having a strong LinkedIn profile that helps you stand out in the whole context of your profession. And it's not just enough to just to build your LinkedIn profile. We need to optimize it. Now, what to mean by optimizing it? There are many ways to do it, but today I'm going to show you the most effective ways, which I believe in, because I already implemented this on my own profile. I want to show you exactly the steps that I use to hopefully help you optimize it. Okay, so what is LinkedIn profile optimization? Right, a lot of people ask me the same question. If you have heard of SEO, search engine optimization, essentially LinkedIn search, if you go to LinkedIn platform now, just Google, type linkedin.com. Whatever things that you search on LinkedIn search bar, it is like a Google SEO. It's a Google search. Just that right now you're operating this on LinkedIn ecosystem. So it's very similar to Google search, just that your website right now is your LinkedIn profile. And people can search for your LinkedIn profile on LinkedIn. And this is why you need to optimize it in such a way that you need to make your profile rank higher. You need to make your profile visible. You need to make people find your profile through their search compared to other people. And I'm going to show you later on. For example, if you are interested in data science, you want to, when people search for data scientists, you want your name, you want your profile to appear on their search result. This is what you aim to do. This is what you aim to optimize such that when people search for data scientists in their region, your profile should rank higher than most of the profiles out there. And this is what I'm going to share with you today on how to build your personal brand with some keywords. So if you're looking for a job right now, or if you're looking for a career transition, and if you've already optimized your LinkedIn profile well enough, your profile stand a higher chance to be spotted by HR recruiters. But guess what? All these HR hiring managers, recruiters, or headhunters, how do you think they find other candidates out there? They just type in, let's say they want to look for a data scientist for their clients, for their companies, search data scientists. And if your profile ranks much higher than other people, let's say you appear in the first page, maybe not the top 1 or 2, but your profile appears in the first page. This is how they start noticing your profile, right? Because when they scroll through, we are lazy. People are lazy. Imagine that right now you go to Google search, you search for something else. Is it common that you will go through the second page of your Google search? Yep, chances are you will not. That's why it is so important that to have your profile that appears on the first page on your LinkedIn. And this is what I mean by that, right? You need to start optimizing your profile. For example, let me show you a quick walkthrough, like live demo. Okay, so now imagine now you are in your profile, right? Just go to linkedin.com, go to your profile, create a profile, simple as that. So now if I'm a recruiter, come to this, my newsfeed is good. So now if I want to search for a data scientist, I may just type something here, data scientist, and it's cool. So now I start typing this. As a recruiter, I want to find someone who has this keyword data science. So search for people here. And if you manage to rank, if you manage to optimize your profile well, chances are your profile will pop it here, right? So all the search results here are based on your own network, based on the region that you are in, based on keywords that you have. So the result that you are seeing on your side might be different compared to mine, right? So you need to optimize your profile such that your profile appears on the first page here, and this is the goal of optimization, right? Okay, now, how do you know if you have successfully ranked for your keywords, right? You see, in order to make sure you can rank for all these keywords, for example, you want to go into data science field, some of the keywords that you can start using is data scientist, of course, very obvious. Maybe data engineering, maybe data analytics, maybe machine learning model. It's up to you. It depends on the keywords that you want to rank higher. And recruiters and hiring managers can reach out much faster if your profile appears in their searches. So now you need to have the top 3 keywords. After the webinar today, I want you to know to jot down the top 3 keywords that you want to optimize and put it in your title. Yes, your title. So now the thing that you're seeing here is my own profile, right? Here I put it very, very explicit. Data scientist, social and marketing analytics, speaker, and writer. Okay, when I go to my profile, you can see your keywords that your searchers used before. For example, here, I use data scientist, speaker, and writer. I go to this part. I'm going to show you how you can go to this part. The keywords that searchers use when they search for your profile. And it appears exactly the same as my title. When people type in data scientist, a lot of time they see my profile and they connect with me. And this is how you build your network, right? This is how you build your personal brand slowly and surely. And writer and speaker as well. So now, how do you check for the keywords that your searchers use, such that you can know whether you have successfully ranked for your keywords? Okay, let me show you some of the steps here. Okay, let's see now. We'll go back to my profile. Again, I'm using the same title here. And what you can see is this. The first thing you need to do is go to this search appearances. You can do it now in real time, just following my steps. Search appearances, type in. So now you see that, okay, cool, from 7 April to 14 April, there are about 1.2K people search for you. And you also can see where your searches work, right? The profile that I'm showing you here is the free profile. And you don't need to pay anything for that. It's free. So you can see where your searches work, and also you can see what your searches do. For example, most of my searches in the past week are software developers, are recruiters, see? And this is how you know you will rank higher based on the keywords that you have chosen. Founders, salesperson, business strategies, right? And also here you can see, again, the top 3 keywords that I mentioned just now are data scientist, writer, and speaker. Here I managed to rank my top 2 keywords, right? Data scientists, writers, or maybe speaker is no longer here. So this thing keeps changing. It keeps changing every week and every week. So if you have optimized your keywords well and people manage to find your profile, it's good. That means you have optimized your profile well. Now I've thought a lot of the importance of how to optimize your profile and how to see whether your profile is well optimized. Now here comes the question, what to optimize, right? What to optimize? Again, I want you to focus on your own LinkedIn profile, where you can start going here, view your profile. Right, there are some things that you can optimize here. Let me show you. Okay, the first few things that you can start optimizing right away is your name. Okay, your profile picture and your title. It must be searchable, must be clickable, and approachable. What do I mean by that? A lot of people out there on LinkedIn, they are not just active on LinkedIn. Some people even ignore putting their own profile picture on LinkedIn, and this is very, very unfortunate. Because if people don't even know how you look like, how do you think they can approach you? It makes you not so approachable. It makes your profile not so clickable. If they can't see your profile picture, to them, to some of the people, it's just another anonymous people out there. So people wouldn't connect with you, and you can't establish your personal brand out there. That's why your face in your profile picture should be very clear and professional in a way that can let people identify you. Okay, this guy's Edmund's cool, makes you approachable. Like this girl out here, Janine, cool. Now I look at this profile picture, I see her name, right? Very clear title, growth hacker, cool. And also I also see her profile picture, clear, simple, and approachable. And this is what makes people click your profile, right? If people don't even want to click your profile at the first place, let's not talk about building personal brand, because nobody wants to go to see your profile at all, right? So what you can do is go to your profile, start looking into your name. How do you want people to address you on LinkedIn? Edmund, Alex, or whatever name that you want to put. Must be professional name, of course. So you need to figure out the title, the top 3 keywords that I mentioned that you want to include in your title on LinkedIn. So again, the top 3 keywords that I use here personally is data scientist, the speaker, writer, marketing analytics. So all these are sort of the keywords that I want to rank on social media or on LinkedIn in this case. So you need to figure out the way. Maybe you are in sales. So maybe the top 3 keywords could be, sales, what is that? Entrepreneur, I'm not sure. Maybe best sales guy in the world. So you need to understand, you need to try and error some of the keywords that people start looking on LinkedIn to make your title attractive, to make people want to search or click into your profile and view you. Last but not least, you need to make sure your profile picture here is professional enough. Don't just put any of your casual photo that you take some time at your house and just put it here, boom, on LinkedIn. No. Maybe you can even invest more time or even money to help ask other people to take a profile of you, to take a professional picture of you sitting here, and for you to put your profile picture here, right? And this is how you need to start optimizing as the first step, okay? Now, what's the second step? Second step is to optimize your cover page. So why is that important? When I talk about cover page, I'm talking about this. The whole things behind my profile picture here. This is the cover page. This is the first thing that people see when they go into your profile, right? And this is how you convey your most important message that you want, right? What is the message that you want to convey? It could be sharing knowledge to the world, right? Could be enthusiastic data scientists, whatever things. Just need to know what you are standing for. And the first few seconds when people reach your profile, they already know who you are and what you are doing in these first few seconds. And this is important because without getting interested in your profile in these few seconds, people just wouldn't scroll through your profile and scroll downwards to see the rest of your information, right? That's why you need to start optimizing it and to show people what you are good at, as well as to establish your credibility in this space, right? Now, LinkedIn summary experience. This is very, very, very important, and most people somehow just neglect this section. And I hope you can really fully utilize this section here, and because this is how people get to know you personally through your elaboration, through your explanation of what you have been doing, instead of just showing your accomplishments out there, right? Now, what do I mean by that? So LinkedIn summary, if you see here, just go through your profile picture. Below your profile picture on your LinkedIn profile, you will see about here. And this is your summary, right? It's a place where you give your information about your professional background, maybe personal, and also to showcase your capabilities. Start getting noticed by hiring managers or recruiters out there. Therefore, your summary must be very, very informative and attention-grabbing. Must not be too lengthy, but it must be attention-grabbing, such that people will start looking at it. Wow, this guy looks good. This guy knows what he or she is talking about, right? So let me show you real quick what summary that I'm talking about here. Now, here's your profile. This is your LinkedIn summary here. And here I put it very, very clear, very, very explicit about what I do, how I do it, some of the services that I provide. Remember, I talk about the consulting that I do for my clients. Here I talk about the services. You have seen me a little bit about my background and how you can reach out to me by sharing some of my social media profile as well. Here I share about my Medium, my profile, my website, Twitter account, GitHub. So it's up to you. There's no right or wrong way of optimizing your LinkedIn summary, but there are first rule of thumb for you to pay attention to, right? First, informative. Second, attention grabbing. Think of it. If you are a hiring manager looking at a candidate's profile, what do you hope to see from the summary? If you think from the perspective of a hiring manager, it helps you on what to write on your summary as a job search candidate, right? So think of it this way. Don't just list down all the things that you do. List down in a way that you can share your story on what you are doing and why you are doing and what you're looking for. how people can help you, and how you can help people as well. So that depends on the industry that you are in. That depends on the level of experience that you have. Okay. So we've talked about the LinkedIn summary on how to build it. Second, very, very important, LinkedIn experience. LinkedIn experience, I think most of you have already utilized this section well. Some of it maybe not. It's a place for you to show your professional journey to where you are today. So to some people, it's like a resume, but to me, it's beyond resume. It's much more than resume, because now people can click on your profile. You can even share link in every of your experience out there, and that helps you stand out among other candidates. That makes you special. So you need to share relevant experience in your niche in this LinkedIn experience session, right? So here, if I go to my profile again to share with you real quick. So this is the LinkedIn experience that I'm talking about here. So it's like an online version of your working experience in a chronological order. Okay. So if you scroll down there, I listed down all my relevant experiences here. I start off as, there's so many experiences here. So you must make it a very, very informative section, right? So here, 2 years back, wow, this is quite old. I started, in my alma mater, NTU, as a researcher, as a caller, student caller. I slowly progressed to different stages of my life and how I found my passion. I started off with my competition here, internship out there, first full-time job, right? Doing some of my writing journey out there. And finally, I landed my job here at my current company. So it is a whole documentation of your whole working experience. Of course, it must be relevant. You can't just share all the mix of things that you have been doing, right? If you are in data science space, you want to go into this space, it's highly recommended that you don't share something that is not relevant to what you are doing or hope to do, right? If you are in a law industry, but you want to transition into data science industry, there's not much relevancy if you share a lot of your experience in law industry. You get what I mean? That's why it is important for you to gauge the importance of it and to share this with others. And this is what LinkedIn's experience is all about. You can put it in a bullet point format, like what I do here, or you can put it in a paragraph format. It's like a storytelling kind of stuff with your link here, right? By the way, this is my own website, so I just put it here for people to know about that. And ultimately, it is up to you. There's not an exact formula on how to craft your experience, and that depends on your creativity, right? So I highly recommend you to really review your current LinkedIn experience and see how you can improve it. And if you want to have a reference point, of course, you can go to my profile and see how you can improve your profile based on whatever is here. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is something that is highly underrated, but I strongly recommend you to do it because not many people use it. Not many people will know about this at all. It is called LinkedIn Menu. Now this is big. Not many people know about what it is, like LinkedIn Menu, right? I think by now some of you may already seen my LinkedIn Menu on my LinkedIn profile, just that you haven't noticed this name called LinkedIn Menu. So why is it important? When I talk about LinkedIn Menu, it is this, right? This part here. This part is called LinkedIn Menu because it is easier for user to click it to your website, or maybe you have a link to other platforms. And people will tend to click it because it's visually pleasing and clear-cut. By showing your menu out there, showing exactly what you do or what it is, people know where to go based on what they want to see, right? For example, if I'm a hiring manager, click to your profile, I want to see what you have been up to, what other experiences that you have. And now, when I go to your profile right now, okay, good, this guy knows about data science, and I go to this LinkedIn Menu here. So now it's very clear-cut, right? I just shows them, this is my website, just click it. And this is visually visually pleasing compared to by pasting the link here, because a lot of time people will just scroll through this and it's not clickable, right? But if you just put it here on your LinkedIn menu, people will tend to click it because now it's visually pleasing. People know about it. People can see it. People can even feel it by clicking it and lead to my website. And that's it. And this is how you can start growing your influence, establishing your authority in this space by fully optimize your profile in whatever ways that we are showing here. And it's very important. Finally, endorsement and recommendation. You see, LinkedIn endorsement looks something like this. If you scroll through the bottom of your LinkedIn profile, you'll see this section here called skills and endorsements, right? But a lot of people, they tend not to ask people to endorse them because maybe they feel shy. That's what I did last time. But it shows a lot of trust. If more and more people endorse the skills that are relevant to the niche that you are in. Let me repeat. It shows a lot of trust and credibility if more and more people endorse your top skills here that are relevant to your niche. Okay? Again, if you're in data science field, maybe you are very good at Python, machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, and these are all the skills that you want people to endorse you, right? So you start reaching out to people either through personal message, through email, through your friends, up to you. The goal is to get people to endorse you, and it shows that you are good at what you do and people are willing to vouch for you. And this is how you can start convincing people, like hiring managers, to start believing you, wow, this guy doesn't just know what he or she is talking about. A lot of people even vouch for he or she, right? So this is the power of getting endorsement. Of course, if you want people to endorse you, first of all, you must, add values first, right? And this is how you should help people endorse their skills. And in return, you see if you can get back the endorsement to your profile. This is how you can grow your influence out there. And this is just first part. So you need to select the top 3 skills that you want people to endorse. And you need to first endorsing people's skills that you want them to endorse. Add value first, again. And also you want to send a highly personalized message to the person you want to ask for endorsement. Okay. So by far, you have already seen that I'm not showing you the importance of something. I'm showing you exactly the steps, the how parts on how you can get to that step, right? So here, if you scroll through your LinkedIn profile, there's a section called recommendation. And this section is highly, highly underrated. Again, it's meant to boost your credibility with testimonial. This is a bit different from endorsement because endorsement are just a few clicks, right? But here, recommendation is more personal. People write about you through the collaboration that you guys work with, through some projects, through your colleagues, your bosses, whatever, maybe through your clients. It's highly, highly personal, and therefore your recommendations should be of high quality. Here we focus more on high quality rather than quantity. That's why you need to request for recommendation, and this should be given by someone, maybe your ex-boss, your client, your colleagues who know better about you, who you know and who knows your skills and experience. You can't just randomly find someone on the street. Can you recommend my skills? If they don't know anything about you, it's hard for them to recommend you on your profile. So again, if I just show you real quick on my profile here, you would see at the bottom of my LinkedIn profile is this section here. I requested a few recommendations. Fortunately, I'm very grateful for that, for all these recommendations. Some of the clients, some of the people, my friends, even my professor that I work with, some of my friends that I work with for some of the previous projects here. So all these recommendations are like a stack, right? First of all, you have your title. Second, you have your profile picture, summary, your LinkedIn experience, and then your endorsement, finally your recommendation. You see, all these things work hand in hand together. It's like a stacking, right? It's to stack your skills to let people get to know more about you. And this is how you start building your personal brand, by building your profile and optimizing it. Okay. And this is how you can get more recommendation. You can send a personal message, be specific. Don't make them think so hard, right? Give them some hints, or maybe you can suggest some of the text to let them change the words for the people that you work with, for them to recommend you, to give you some recommendations. Okay. Okay, so these are the slides, how to ask for recommendation that I showed just now. Now, there's one bonus that I hope to share. I hope I have enough time. It's cool. Right, there's one bonus that I have never shared with anyone, and I hope to share with you today. So, this is exactly the strategy that I used throughout all these years to build my personal brand, and I want to share this proven method with you today in this webinar. And I really hope that you can pay attention to it and jot down notes if possible, because this is crucial, right? So all these are my own strategy that I personally use. It's a method that I use to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. So we have talked about the importance of personal brand, how to optimize it, how to build it, how to get recommendation, etc. Now, let's get to the core work. All the things that we've talked about are the first steps, right? And the thing that I'm talking about is content strategy. Now, what do you mean by that? It looks a bit like a marketing term, but again, this is highly useful and applicable to our personal branding journey as a data scientist, or could be any other professionals. Now, what is content? Content is a valuable and relevant post that add values to your target audience. And your target audience should be hiring managers and recruiters. So basically, content is everything that you see on your LinkedIn. If I go to my feed right now, let's see. So go to your feed right now. This is your feed, and this is the first page that you land when you go to LinkedIn. And all this essentially are the content. So content can come in many different formats. I'm going to talk about this later, right? So again, content is all the things that you share or people share online on LinkedIn, if you're talking about LinkedIn. And you need to start sharing useful content such that people get to know about you, such that people benefit from your content. And this is where you start reaching out more people, more audience. Now, why do I think content strategy is very, very important in building your personal brand? You see, we all know that LinkedIn is becoming a content platform for organic growth. So it's no longer just the job search platform, but it's a platform for you to resonate with your connections to 10 times your reach. For example, a very, very simple thing or analogy is that imagine right now your followers, you have 1,000 followers. But a post that you post on LinkedIn could reach 10,000 or even 100,000 of people out there who are not in your connections. And this is how people get to know more about you through the content that you share. So that's way though for you to attract more and more opportunities and to take your career to the next level. Maybe you could be invited for various opportunities, right? For publication, for speaking, for job, or even for business opportunities. And all of this, I've encountered this throughout my personal branding journey. And this is the power of it, right? Because you are no longer searching for this. These opportunities come to you passively, I would say. That's why content strategy is so important. Okay. So before I say anything, maybe you have already a question. Why do I need to care about, posting content, right? Why can't I message the hiring managers out there? Why can't I just apply for jobs on LinkedIn? Or maybe you just say, oh, nobody will care about what I have to say, right? At the end of the day, it's all about content. You have to be consistent putting out content. For people who have known me for some time, you've already noticed some of the content that I've been putting out consistently on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. All these are meant to help more people to grow my authority as a data scientist and to build my personal brand such that people will start getting to know me, to start getting traction, to start getting more opportunities as a byproduct of you helping others. And that's why content strategy is so important out there. So who is your target audience? For most of us, if you are job seekers, recruiters, HRs are your target audience. And you need to share your knowledge in this space, in data science space, such that people know exactly what you are talking about. And that boosts your profile's visibility. The more you share, the more consistent you share on LinkedIn, it boosts your profile tremendously. More and more people will start knowing you. More and more people will start getting to approach you because you are who you are. You are people who are willing to share. And also, if you are in data science space, you want to share sort of the latest technology in data science or exchange ideas to learn from other people. Maybe you are an aspiring data scientist out there, so you need to share your advice on how to go into data science, or maybe you can share about your mistakes, right? Building personal brand is not just to share about the knowledge, the experience, the accomplishments, the success. It's beyond that. To get people to know more about you personally, you got to share even your mistakes sometimes, so that, you know, a lot of people like us, we are not just, you know, willing to be vulnerable on social media platform, and that is unfortunately true. But of course, you have to step up. You need to step in front of other people to share your mistakes. Just be vulnerable. Open your hands up and share your mistakes and your learning experience, what you have learned from your mistakes, to hopefully help more people, help more aspiring data scientists, right, who face the same problem as you, and then they can benefit from it. So again, there are so many content formats out there. Could be posts, could be images, could be a video, or you can just even share other people's posts, right? Or some of them are just post articles, LinkedIn articles. You can start writing LinkedIn's on LinkedIn, and it's a long form content, of course. So for you to get started, I would recommend you to start, I think, posts first, or maybe images. The latest format is a new feature by LinkedIn, by the way. It's the PDF documents. You can even attach now your PDF files with your useful contents on LinkedIn to share with other people. And this is awesome because this gives people more and more different flavors of consuming your content for you to reach out more people, right? So again, if you ask which content works best, and that depends on your audience that you have. The audience that you are having now is different from mine. So maybe your audience may may prefer text, image, or video, and that depends on the network that you have. So you have to keep experimenting to see which format works for you. And to me, personally, text post works the best so far. I try to post video sometimes back, but it didn't work quite well. And regardless of content format, the core idea is you need to have a personal story that makes your content relevant. You can't just share the content out there, share the link, preach other people, tell them what to do. No, the best way to reach out more people, get people to know you and share your knowledge for people to listen is to share your personal stories. People like stories. We all like stories. And every personal stories are unique. So you just have to share exactly what you have learned from your mistake, struggles, or even your life. And that's why I say storytelling skills are so important, especially for data scientists. And writing all these text posts, social media posts on LinkedIn or other channels, train your storytelling skills. Train how you can frame your storytelling skills in different ways to attract more people to read your posts, right? So maybe you are just starting out right now. Maybe you are someone who has zero background in data science. Maybe you are currently working in another industry. Maybe you are a student. Maybe you are a PhD student who wants to go into this space. The first question that you may ask is, Edmund, I have no background, so what should I share? Does anybody even listen to me, right? So my advice is document, don't create. And this is the best quote that I love to quote, as mentioned by Gary Vee, a very successful entrepreneur who has a very successful digital marketing company. And I learned a lot from him. By documenting, you don't need to create any new content. You just need to create or document your learning journey throughout your experience. Last time I struggled to create content when I first started out. So I just documented my whole journey in written format by writing articles on Medium or on LinkedIn. So it doesn't matter where you are now, but you just have to got to start somewhere. And you just get to show up and let people know who you are and what you are passionate about and what you have been along doing throughout your whole journey, right? So if you're just starting out, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. We all have to start somewhere, but you just have to start documenting, start writing your experience, your journey, your mistakes, and it's all about documentation. So you don't need to keep thinking, oh, I need new ideas, I need new content for me to put out there to share. No, you just have to think about your journey. What can I share today? What have I learned? What did I do, right? And you need to share your struggles, say your mistakes, your learning experience, or even your success. Don't just do what you love, right? But also share what you love with others. People love to hear stories, and this is why storytelling skills is so important. Lastly, share your message and distribute at scale. Today, we are just talking about LinkedIn. There's so many channels out there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or even Medium, which also a part of the things that I focus so much on my personal branding course, that I talk about how to further optimize your profile, to how to scale up your personal branding through LinkedIn and Medium. And also in this course, I'll share about the whole personal branding strategy that I use and still using, by the way, to scale up my personal brand journey. And I hope to share more with you in that course itself. So these are some of the things that I use: writing and speaking, and all these are just my preferences. At the end of the day, that depends on your preferences, what you are comfortable with. Maybe you like to talk, then podcast may fit you as your personal branding tool or channel, right? So you need to figure out what are you exactly comfortable with and what you want to try it out. You don't need to go all in with different areas. I want to try writing, speaking, or podcasting. No, start with an area first and go deeper and start focusing on it. You can start in writing first, or you can start in speaking first. It's up to you. So I hope this webinar has benefited for you. And that's all I have to share about the importance of building the personal brand, right, on LinkedIn, and how to build and optimize your LinkedIn profile from scratch. So that's all for now. Back to you, Ruben.